Barb's iPhone has indicated it is 10 o'clock and I'm calling this meeting to order. Okay. Roll call, please.
Chaplin. Covert.
Here.
Evans.
Here.
Ozog.
Here.
Tornatori. Zay.
Here.
Okay, let's see, any public comment?
None.
All right. I would like to welcome our new senior transportation planner, Melissa. I'm going to ask you to say your last name. Rubikowskis, okay. My last name is Ozog. Nobody can say it or spell it. So we have that in common, but welcome. And I hope everything is going well so far. And I believe you probably have an awful lot to learn here and there's lots of good things going on. So welcome. Okay, otherwise, I'm going, any public comment? No.
None.
No, okay. Next, I'm going to move to approve the minutes of our May 7th meeting. Do I have a second? Second, okay. Any comments or changes? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, next I move for approval of 24-15-64 recommendation for the approval of contract to All Tech Industries to furnish and deliver all tech
Second.
repair and replacement parts as needed for the Division of Transportation for the period June 1st, 2024 through May 31st, 2025 for a contract total not to exceed $15,000, not suitable for competitive bids, source direct replacement of compatible equipment parts. I have a second. Comments or questions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, next I move for approval of DTP 003724, recommendation for the approval of contract to Traffic Control Corporation for annual maintenance and support services for the Division of Transportation's Centrax ATMS software system for the period July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025 for a contract total not to exceed $36,052, not suitable for competitive bids, sole source proprietary software maintenance and support. Okay, I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Move for approval of DTP 003824, recommendation for the approval of contract to Collins Engineers Incorporated to provide professional bridge inspection services for various locations upon request for the period May 28th, 2024 through May 31st, 2026 for a contract total amount of $250,000 professional services vetted through a qualification-based selection process.
Second.
Okay. Any comments or questions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next, we have an awarding resolution. I move for approval of DTR 002124, recommendation for the approval of a contract to Morton Salt to furnish and deliver bulk rock salt as needed for the Division of Transportation for the period June 1st, 2024 through May 31st, 2025 for a contract total amount of $1,108,500 per lowest responsible bid.
Second.
Second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
And I have a comment about this, Mike. Would we be using this in the cicada control or is it simply
If they have little salt guns, you can load them up.
very little salt, guys? Okay, thank you. I'm obviously a little preoccupied with this, but I've lived through it before. Anyway, I now move for approval of DTR 002224, intergovernmental agreement between the County of DuPage and York Township to extend road servicing beyond county right-of-way on multiple side streets along Myers Road within the township.
Second.
County to be reimbursed $6,333.53. I have a second. Any comments or questions about this? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Pardon me. Next, I move for approval of DTR 002324, resolution authorizing the DuPage County Chair to execute a letter of understanding between the County of DuPage and the Illinois Department of Transportation for the maintenance responsibilities for the DuPage County equipment on IDOT-owned traffic signals at 31st Street and the Illinois Route 83 North and South ramps. Do I have a second?
Second.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Any comments or questions about this? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, discussion. Any discussion?
On what?
I think we got it.
On what? I'm nervous.
Any discussion about any transportation?
Yeah, 'cause we had a lot of.
I did that in the old business. Can we do it now or no?
No, only
No,
transportation. All right. Okay, we'll now move on. I've not seen this before, but that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll now move on to informational.
It's gonna be hot.
24-15-26, recommendation for the approval of a contract to the City of Wheaton to provide fire alarm monitoring services for the
Second.
county cameras for facilities management for the period July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025 for a contract total amount not to exceed $21,420, not suitable for competitive bids, public utility.
Motion to receive, place on file.
Oh, sorry, this is a motion to receive and place on file.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Any comments or questions about this? All right. Next, we have a presentation. 24-1379, the 2024-2028 Capital Improvement Plan presentation and request for release. Thank you, John.
Good morning, committee. Appreciate your attention to this this important piece of work here. This is our second year in a row that we've presented this to you, and it's a guide for what DDOT's anticipating to do over the next 5 years. We don't treat this as a budgetary document, we just treat it as kind of a guide for how we think that we're going to spend the money and to prosecute our program over the next 5 years. So just a little bit of tip background. Next slide, please. So as you might recall from last year, we kind of compiled this from a variety of sources, including we have a rather large spreadsheet of projects, and then also compiling all sorts of different information from various sources, the federal sources and forms and things of that nature that we keep in our office. Funding and funding sources is really important as we go through this. So we have a lot of information on federal and state grants, and so we have included those within the CIP. Next slide, Joe. So what's included, TIP reflects all the capital projects, doesn't include personnel, capital equipment, energy, utilities, and materials, as we've just approved the Roxall contract here, or not including the routine maintenance such as pothole patching and that kind of stuff. But we do have the whole spread, and you see it there in the presentation as well. Trails, paths, sidewalks, signals, bridges, pending projects. We have a variety of active and proposed projects that are within the plan as well. So next slide, please, Joe. We have a total of 98 projects within the program this year, $327 million. 66% is construction and engineering. 24% in major capital maintenance. That includes the annual pavement maintenance program and the electrical maintenance contract that we have. Those are significant to our program every year. We have a lot of various projects that we consider on an annual or biennial status. So those are included as well. Important to note that most of the money that we're allocating over the 5-year program is in state of good repair and system enhancement projects that are intersection or operations types of projects. We have 5 bridge projects that include the Bloomingdale Road over the CN Railroad, for example, the Warrenville Road over East Branch, DuPage River, the Geneva Road Bridge over West Branch, and the Army Trail Road over West Branch, DuPage River trails, including also the Volunteer Bridge over the UP. We have quite a few mobility projects, 12 of them to be exact. 31st Street, multi-use path, Winfield Road, multi-use path, and various East Branch DuPage River Trail projects. Next slide, Joe. So this represents, this kind of gives you a clue as to where we're spending the money and the program. The big orange slice here is our state of good repair, which has consumes definitely over a third of the amount of program funds. System enhancement in pink, and we also have the elephant in the room, which is about $50 million in capital facilities for the DOT offices and new facility to replace the 140. Any questions on that so far? Okay, next slide, Joe. So what we also would provide you in the plan is a program funding summary here. Over almost $2.5 million, $250 million in local gas tax and county motor fuel tax. We're earning roughly about $60 million per year on those funds. We have a significant amount of federal funds, federal FDP, other CMAQ, and other state funds that represent over $31 million in the program. So we continue to gather and garner some federal funds that will be important to us and to our. I'll get that. So it's important for us to continue that record of getting the federal funding, and as it's growing more important, obviously, as motor fuel tax and local gas tax may erode over the course of time. Next slide. So I wanted to throw a couple of example projects in here. So this is the Geneva Road Bridge project. In this, in the pages, you'll note on the top left side is the project information. We've also thrown in congressional districts this year. It's turning out to be an important thing as we apply for community project funding through the local through the legislative earmarks. We include a table here that describes how we're going to spend that money in terms of the phases. So design engineering, construction engineering, construction, and participation. Participation indicates when we have federal funds, and that's what our obligation is under the federal funding agreement. We also have funding by source. So how are we going to pay for it? County MFT bond, other federal FTP. So we have we can track basically what we're going to be using in order to pay for this, and the total estimated cost is what's left to pay. This is just obviously we may have done preliminary engineering. That's not included. If the engineering has already been completed, it's not going to show up in these lists. So this is a rolling list from year to year of what is left to pay for that project. Next slide, please. Naperville Road. This obviously is a big project in the central part of DuPage. We have a whole mix of different things: design, construction, land acquisition. We have some federal money on this, and participation costs are almost $1.9 million. One of the projects that we submitted for community project funding recently was this one, and I think we're probably going to get the money for that. So that will change the funding by source when we update that. Next slide, please, Joe. And finally, we have approximately like 36 of the various projects. This is just one of them, the pavement maintenance north. You can see that we have allocated money for each of these projects, by year, biennially too, and also the allocation of the resources. So those are just kind of summaries of what we have in the program. Joe, last slide, please. So the last slide, we're going to talk about requesting your permission to essentially release this program after it goes through board next week. And we will notify IDOT and all of our various partner agencies when we go to release that. We did send out letters last year to the communities, to IDOT, to Tollway, and a variety of other places, but we will post it online as well. Question? Sorry.
Go ahead. Thank you, Madam Chair. I just had a really quick question on the
Sure.
graph. I'm seeing bulk,
Which one?
the,
Oh, okay, sure.
yeah. Just really curiously, what's the difference between state of good repair and maintenance? I'm assuming it would be similar.
It is largely the same. So maintenance is in this particular case, I think the $5 million there is just something that is identified as, I think that's just a resurfacing, like a resurfacing project or something like that. So state of good repair would largely include a large set of capital items, from bridge work to pavement to sidewalks and things of that nature.
Thank you.
Member Evans.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I didn't dig too deep into this, but is the Cass Avenue, is any of the work on Cass Avenue included in this?
You're talking about the section from 55 to 91st Street?
Right,
Yeah, so it is in it's in longer range portion of the 5-year program. So we're looking at 27, 28, 29 for that, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, John, thank you. Fantastic job. If we don't have any other comments or questions, I recommend that we send this on to the board next week. Any other? Okay, so I don't know if we really, do we need to do a vote?
We have consensus.
Do we have consensus? Everyone in favor? Great. Okay, thank you again, John. Fantastic job. Okay, and any old business? Mr. Zay?
We had Salt here. Any update on getting plows in? Have we gotten any, the ones that we've ordered?
I'll let
And-
Mike,
We're still waiting on, the chassis to be delivered to Monroe. Once those are in, we're expecting them in the next, month or two. Then they'll start, construction of the plow trucks. So we're hoping to have them, completed before next, winter.
That's good. Do we know how many are there or?
There's 8 on order.
Oh, perfect.
Okay,
Okay.
so by the end of this calendar year, you think?
Yes, that's
Okay,
last I heard, yes.
Mike wants them before snow season. Yeah, so.
okay, well, that sounds like things are improving in terms of the supply chain somewhat.
I think these trucks are a little over 2 years out, when we placed the initial order, so.
At least, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, so this is some of the ones that we had previously gotten permission to not only order them ahead, but also to combine the 2 years worth of orders into one, so we get the 8. Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Hope springs eternal, but it sounds like it's not too much eternal in the future, so that sounds great. I guess that's. Okay, I also want to welcome Chris Rose. Thank you for coming. Chris is with Pace and appreciate you being here. Anything you want to update us on or just to put you on the spot?
Just that, the rideshare access program that we implemented in March 11th to expand it to the entire region. Just to update everyone or remind everyone what that is Pace working with the local TNCs, Uber and User for ADA paratransit users. They're able to book trips and Pace subsidizes up to 8 trips a day of $30. So they pay the first $2 and then we'll pay everything up to the $30 mark. Anything over the $30 mark, they would be responsible for. And this is derivative from the Ride DuPage Access Program that we did a pilot for a year. The board approved from that success. We approved for it to go to the entire region and that started March 11th and it's been going well. There's been
Good.
several registrants, so.
So not too many growing pains.
No,
Great.
it's been well received.
Great. Sounds wonderful. Thank you, Chris, for being here. Any other comments, questions, anything else? Okay, hearing none, I move to adjourn. Oh, I'm sorry, new business, any new business? I was kind of asking that. Any new business? No, hearing none. I move to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much.